Xero is one of the only small business accounting platforms that has the ability to track and manage fixed assets. In this video, we will demo how to create and depreciate fixed assets in Xero. Fixed assets, also commonly referred to as capital assets, are expenditures that provide value to a company for an extended period of time. These are typically larger dollar value items such as computer hardware and software, furniture and fixtures, equipment, machinery, buildings, and more. So let's jump right in. We will start by going to the chart of accounts under the accounting menu. Here we can see existing fixed asset accounts and also create new accounts. In this demo company, you will see we have an office equipment and a computer equipment fixed asset account. There is also a corresponding accumulated depreciation account for each. Let's create two new accounts for building and building accumulated depreciation. To do this, we will click the Add Account button towards the top of your screen. Here we will start by entering an account type, which will be fixed asset, then our account number, then our account name, which in this case we're going to call it buildings, and then an optional description. After that, we can hit save and repeat this process for the accumulated depreciation. Now that we have some new accounts set up, let's go to our fixed asset screen, which will be under the accounting menu, under the advanced section, and fixed assets. Here we will start by going to our settings. Under our settings, we're going to create a new asset type. We are going to call this new asset type buildings. For the asset account, we will select the account that we just created for buildings. Similarly, for the accumulated depreciation account, we will select the account that we just created for accumulated depreciation. Finally, for the depreciation expense account, this demo company already had an account created for depreciation expense, and we're going to use that same account. So we'll select that here. Moving down the screen, we will select our depreciation method, the most common being straight line, which means that the value of the asset will be depreciated evenly throughout its effective life. Next, we will select our averaging method. Here we can either select actual days or full month. Actual days will start depreciation on the actual date that the asset was purchased. Alternatively, full month will depreciate a full month of depreciation in the month that that asset was purchased. Typically, many companies choose to go with full month for its simplicity. Finally, we can either pick a predetermined rate for annual depreciation, or we can select an effective life for this asset type. In this demo, I'm going to use an effective life of 30 years for a building. Now we will save this asset type and go on to create a new fixed asset. To do this, we will navigate back to the Fixed Asset menu item and click the New Asset button towards the top. This will bring us to a screen to add a new asset. Many of the fields in this screen are optional, but I'm going to fill in the ones that are most commonly used, starting with an asset name. You obviously want a name for your asset. Then an asset number, the purchase date, and of course, you need a purchase price. Then we're going to select our asset type, which is the building's asset type that we just created. It's also a good idea to put in some sort of description that gives you more details on this asset. As we look down on the screen, you will see that our book value depreciation methods are automatically filled in when we select our asset type. but we do have the ability to adjust this if necessary. We then have the option to save this either as a draft or to register it, meaning put this asset in service right away. I'm going to go ahead and register this asset. All right, I want to pause here for a second and say, if you find this content useful, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. Also, please leave a comment and let us know what you want to see in future demos. All right, with that said, back to the video. So we have now created new fixed asset accounts. We have created a new asset type, and we have created a new asset and placed it in service. The final piece to this demo is running depreciation on our fixed assets. Back at the fixed asset menu, you will see a button towards the top saying Run Depreciation. We will select this option to run depreciation for a given period. On this screen, you will see that the depreciate from date is automatically filled in. This is the date following the last month that depreciation was ran. In the depreciate to field, we can select the end date that we want to run depreciation through. You do have the ability to run multiple months at a time, but it's always a best practice to run depreciation once per month. Now that we have selected our dates, we will get a list of assets that have depreciation to run for that period. Here we will see the asset that we created for a new building. If you recall, we put in a purchase price of $360,000. We also had a useful life of 30 years. So here we are coming up with a monthly depreciation of $1,000. That makes sense if you take the $360,000, divide it by 30 years, and divide it by 12 months. We can now hit the confirm button at the bottom of the screen, and our depreciation for the period is recorded. That concludes our video on creating and depreciating fixed assets within Xero. We hope you found this video helpful.